Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to show you how to build these horse stables in Minecraft that will hold 4 of your very best mounts. Before we begin, if you're building this in survival, you're going to want to gather up all of these blocks. So the top row here is all of the spruce blocks we're going to be using, the second row is all of the oak blocks, and that's mostly all of the resources, but we do have some miscellaneous items down the bottom here, so don't forget to get them too. So here we have the layout of the base of the stables, and the first thing we need to do is place a strip spruce log on top of all of the orange blocks. And once we have all of those done, we can then add an additional 4 more logs on top of those we already have placed down, so we have some 5 high pillars. Now we have our pillars in place, we can come round to the 2 shorter sides of the build, and we're going to have a full brick block here, here, and one in the middle with 2 upside down stairs just like that. And we're going to do that on the other 3 5-sided gaps. So we got 2 at the back here, and then we also have another one around the other side there. So when we're all done, we should have something that looks like this. Just for now, we're going to leave the front open as it is. But what we're going to do next is grab some barrels, and we're going to start on the corners of the build at the back here, and we're going to have 2 down like that, and then 2 spruce stairs on top of it. So we'll have 2 more over here for this corner, and then we also want to do the same for this corner at the front, and the same one over there. So at the moment, we should have something like this on all 4 corners. Lastly, we just need 3 more along the front pillars, just like so. Now we can come round to one of the shorter sides again here, and we're going to grab some stripped oak logs, and I'm going to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 blocks in the center, and we're going to go up by 4 on either of the sides so it's to the same height as the spruce pillars. Next step, we need to grab 2 oak stairs and put them at the bottom, 2 spruce fences above both of those, and then 2 upside down oak stairs, and lastly we just want 2 more stripped oak logs above those upside down stairs. We can then grab an oak fence and put it here in the center next to the upside down stairs, chain, and then a lantern underneath that one. And lastly, we're going to have some spruce trapdoors either side of the fence windows to act as shutters. This can then be copied round to the other side too. With this done on both of the 2 sides, we can now come round to the back, and what we want to do on top of all of the full brick blocks, so these ones here, not the stairs, we're going to have 4 stripped oak logs going up to the same height as the stripped spruce logs, so just add in 6 of these pillars like that. Then we're actually going to step inside the build real quick, and on all of the gaps here in the center, we're going to place in some upside down oak stairs just like that, so that from the outside it should just look like full blocks. Then above the upside down brick stairs, we can add in an oak stair, and underneath this stair at the top, we're going to add in an upside down oak stair, so we should have something like this. And lastly, we just want to go ahead and add in some oak trapdoors for some windows. Now once again, we can come back round to the shorter sides here, and we're going to get started on the roof outline. So we're going to start with 2 upside down spruce stairs on those 2 pillars, and we're going to have 2 regular stairs coming off the back of them, and then we're going to have a trapdoor on top of the stair and also in front of it. So there should be a little bit of height variation between those 2, not on the same level. So do that on both sides. Then we're going to have 2 spruce slabs, then 2 upside down stairs again, a trapdoor in the middle, and then 2 on top of the upside down stairs, and lastly a stair in the center. So this is what the roof outline looks like on this side. As you may have guessed, go ahead and copy it around here too. Coming back round to the front here, we're going to go from this stair, adding in a line of stairs all the way across to this stair over here. So eventually when we're done, making sure you don't get anything like this, we should just have a straight line of stairs. We then want to grab some spruce trapdoors, and we're going to add 1 on the outer block, and then just skip a block and add a trapdoor in, keeping this pattern, and you should see you have another spruce trapdoor at the very end here. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing round the back of the build, except this time we need to make a couple more additions, and that starts off with a barrel next to this log and the spruce stair above it. Forgot to add this one in later, so make sure you get that one down, and also a lantern right in the center here hanging down from that middle stair. Next up, we're going to add a horizontal beam going all the way across out of stripped oak logs, starting from the back of one spruce stair all the way over to the other. The next step is to come to the center here, so in line with this log, and on top of the beam we're just going to have a full spruce plank and then 2 spruce slabs beside it, and then we pretty much just want to alternate between spruce trapdoors and spruce slabs, so eventually when we're all done we get the top of the roof outline looking like this. Before we head back up there and complete the roof, we need to go ahead and add in 2 upside down spruce stairs above each of these sections like this, where all of the horses are going to go. So it should look like this, and we can also go ahead and add 2 oak fence gates so that we can actually open up and go inside, and our horse will be able to fit through. And lastly, we just want to step inside for this next part, similarly to what we did around the back here with the upside down stairs. We just want to do the same at the front here, but with spruce. So now we can start on filling out the rest of the roof, and I'll just show you how to do one side and you can copy it around to the back afterwards. So the first thing we're going to do is come to the center here, marked by this log, and we're going to have 3 spruce trapdoors like that. We then want to have 3 round the back here, but they are going to be a little bit lower, so just make sure you place them on the blocks, not on the trapdoor. We then want to go ahead and place down 2 stripped oak logs on these 2 spots, and then we're going to have an oak trapdoor in the middle and open that one up. We can have an oak log stripped, of course, facing towards us with an oak stair upside down. So here's a quick break just to catch up and see where you are. Once you got all of that done, we're going to have 2 oak stairs like this on either side. And then what we need to do is add in a spruce slab at the top here and then a spruce trapdoor. So this is the middle section, the window that's going to be a part of the roof. We just need to fill in the rest. So once you got all of this done, the first thing we're going to do is at the top here on the bottom part of this log, we're just going to have a line of slabs going all the way across. We're going to do the same down the bottom here with 5 more slabs. And then we're going to do the same in the middle, starting on the top part of this block, going across by 4 blocks, and then we just want to have an oak plank here on the last block. That's just because if we have a slab, as you can see from the inside, it looks a little bit weird because we're left with that half a block gap, which is why we're placing the full plank down. And one final addition on the inside, we just want 2 upside down stairs on the back of those stripped oak logs. So everything I've just shown you can be now copied round to the back, and that will be the roof all done. The last thing we need to do for the exterior of the build is add a little awning out the front here. So we're going to start off next to this barrel, the furthest one on the side, and leave 1, 2, and on the 3rd block we're going to add in a brick wall with 1, 2, and 3 spruce fences on top of it. We can do the same around this side too, and we also want to do the same in the middle. So from the central barrel, it's just a 1 block gap, and the same as what we've done on the outside. On top of all of these fences, we're going to go ahead and add in a spruce trapdoor, and then the rest is going to be filled in with campfires. Now, I like to place mine on the side instead of on the front. I just think it looks a little bit better with how the build is positioned, but we want to just go ahead and fill all of this in. It's pretty much just a long rectangle, of course, missing out the gaps where we have the trapdoor. Now, at this point, yeah, it's a bit of a smoky mess. We don't really want any of that, so you just want to grab your shovel and go along and extinguish all of these campfires so that when it's all done, the smoke particles will begin to disperse, and we're just left with a cool wooden awning, which I think is a nice little touch. So that is now the exterior of the stables all done, with one final addition I forgot to add, which is a lantern in the center here underneath that stair. But with that lantern in place, we can now head inside and do the small final touches on the interior here. So the first thing we're going to do is get some lighting inside of here. So to begin with, in the central block, we're going to have a chain and a lantern, and then we're going to leave 2 blocks either side and do the same again with a single chain and a single lantern. The next thing is to pretty much separate all of these 4 areas into their own individual pens. So what we need to do from all of these spruce logs, we're just going to have a line of brick walls going all the way across to the back wall over here. So as you can see, we nicely get ourselves 4 areas for 4 different mounts. The next thing we have to do is add 2 spruce fences on top of all of these walls. just like that, and this way the divider is just a little bit higher. The very final thing we have to do, and it's a bit finicky to get around here because obviously we've just broken up all of the different sections, but the last thing we have to do is just add a line of spruce trapdoors on top of all of these fences. And what I would say is just make sure they're all facing the same direction and you don't have a couple that are maybe facing to the side. You want the spruce trapdoor connected texture going all the way across. And there we go, those are all 4 stable pens divided nicely so your horses can stay separated. This next step is entirely optional. You may not like the look of this at all, and if that's the case, feel free to just skip over it entirely. The stables looked just fine as they were beforehand. You can leave it as that. But this is something that I actually quite enjoy. So what we have here is a slow transition between grass over to spruce planks, a more solid material that's going to be on the inside of a stable. I think that makes quite a lot of sense. But obviously this is not going to be the cleanest of environments. We're going to have some dirt and other stuff sort of traipsed on in, so we're trying to slowly transition between the spruce planks out to the grass blocks, mixing in some path blocks and also coarse dirt. So you can see at the back here we start off with more spruce planks, mixing in some of the coarse and the path blocks, and then at the end here we're having obviously a lot more grass, slowly phasing out the spruce planks. So that's kind of the idea here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the other 3 stables. You can see what it looks like when it's finished, and if you like the look of it, feel free to give it a go for yourself. There really is no exact way to do this. All you gotta kind of do is slowly phase out the spruce planks, as I said earlier. So here we have the finished product, and I must say I think this looks a whole lot better than it did before. One quick thing I will mention is that when adding in the path blocks, try not to add them in next to any solid blocks like this, for example, otherwise we're going to have that line of pixels on show. You could replace that block with the block above it and it looks perfectly fine like that, but it's just a little bit tedious, so to cut that out entirely, just stick the path blocks when you haven't got any other main building blocks around. So there we go everybody, that is the stables all complete. I really hope you have enjoyed watching. Thank you ever so much for doing that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.